and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee and time on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning, January the 14th. I'm Joe Callahan. That's Linda Tebow right over there. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
And Ed Cruz here. Good morning to you, Ed.
Good morning.
And it's time for our first message from the Carew Investment Group, our first segment sponsor of Coffee and.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. Now, Linda, I don't want to say Ed's lazy, but
Well,
he's got to put in a full week of work this week.
I do.
Last week he didn't.
No.
Next week he's not going to put in a full week.
Ah,
Pretty sweet deal, huh?
yeah.
You too could have been an investment
That is
broker.
so true. That is so true. Well, next week it's MLK Day on Monday.
Yes.
And Inauguration Day, but the stock market's closed because it's MLK Day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the first full week you've had in a while.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well.
Because there was New Year's.
New Year's.
And then
Christmas.
Morning day. Morning for
Yes,
Jimmy Carter.
last Thursday.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So next week,
So after 5 days, you go, whew, I need a 3-day weekend.
yeah.
I'm exhausted.
We'll have to come up with something for the last week of January.
But big things are coming next week, stock market, from what I read.
Oh, yeah? Tell me. What are they?
Well, a lot of economic data.
Oh, there's that
coming.
every week.
Every week that's coming.
Every week
Okay.
there's economic data.
Are you looking for something specific?
Nope. I'm
No?
looking for whatever they
Whatever they throw at
tell
you?
us. Yeah, whatever they tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you say data. See, he says data because he's young. Cat, rat, sat, fat.
Okay.
How do you not come up with data?
I don't
Dat.
know. Because my wife was a big fan of
Data.
Data
of
is-
Star Trek: The Next
Yeah, he's
Generation.
Data
and
on-
Data was a character. He was a machine. He was a robot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
An android, yes.
And it,
Oh, is
played
that-
by a real person,
Oh, is that how we?
but they called him Data.
Is that how we got to data then?
Maybe, I don't know. Would have
Yeah.
started 1990s, I guess.
Yeah. See, Ed and I know how to say it. Data.
Data.
Go look at I'm sure my teachers used data.
I'm sure they
in
did
school.
because think about it: cat, rat, sat, fat.
I know
Bat.
it makes perfect sense, but
does.
it's one of those words that can go back and forth. Either way is considered.
You
It's
know,
like Caribbean. Do you see
Caribbean. We were taught Caribbean
Yeah.
when I was in school. It was Caribbean.
What is it? What is it, Ed?
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Okay, I like Caribbean, but
Yeah. But we were taught Caribbean. Yeah.
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 all right, okay, but
But
But that's a simple one. It's only
that is
three letters.
pretty
You
easy.
cheat.
But all right, person's name, Dana.
D-E?
No, Dana.
Dana.
Yeah,
I know.
well, Data.
It's not Dana.
It's not Dana. It's
No,
it's
because
Dana.
D-A-N is Dan, but D-A-N-A
That's right.
is Dana.
So-
Yeah, no. Yeah, all right. But a name can be pronounced however you want to pronounce it.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
And this is why the English
I
language
would pronounce
is
it
the toughest.
Donna.
Donna.
Dana. Give it
Well,
that.
you'd be wrong, Ed.
You're right. I'm wrong.
All right, so do you know any Danas? And Dana can be a male name or a
I do
female
know a
name.
Dana. Dana's my niece, yes.
Okay, but it
And
can also be
it's
a male
D-A
name.
It can be either
Yeah,
or.
that's an
yeah.
either
See,
or.
that's what I mean. With a name, you can do whatever you want.
That's right. That's right. All right, other things going on. Just take a look at a couple of stories that are on the front page of today's Blackstone Valley Call-in-Times. If you are going to call the police, you really should have your story correct before you call them.
It helps, yes.
Yeah, and this man calls the police. Come down. I need you over at the Woonsocket Motor Inn over there on Clinton Street. And when they get there, because he complains about there was and there's an unwanted person there. And when the police show up, he said, well, nah, that really didn't happen. He claims he was having a disagreement with his girlfriend about inviting some guests over. And the police are so smart. And the first thing they do is separate the both of you.
Of course you do.
And they say, okay, that's your story. And they go talk to the woman. Okay, let's get your story. And she's like, no, that's not it at all. She has like a restraint order against this guy, and he really shouldn't be here. And so they go back to him and they arrest him for that. And of course, then they pat you down and they say, hey, what's this? And he's got crack cocaine on him.
Of course he does.
So he called the police. He gets arrested and taken away.
Yeah.
Just things you should think about before you call the police. Okay.
Well, it's
Yeah.
certainly a good example of not every move was perfectly planned.
Not that time. No, you're right about that. And there's a rather sad story on the front page of today's call, and it's about a child, an 11-year-old boy, being taken away from his mother and to DCYF. Well, first of all, he's missed 32 days of school.
Wow.
And tardy for another 26. And last year, he was absent 36 times.
Can't do that.
It's just way too many.
Yeah.
And so he shows up at school. He does show up at some point, and he goes to Good Shepherd, and it looks like he's got an eye infection. Pink eye. Isn't that terribly contagious?
Conjunctiva. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And so they call the police, and the mom comes down and says, okay, don't worry, I'm going to bring him to the doctor. But they follow up the next day, and she doesn't. They end up arresting her, and they charge her with one count of cruelty to or neglect of a child. And they look into her background. She's had 2 other kids taken away to DCYF. 3 strikes and you're out. And so, and now here's another one. I'm like, this is just a sad situation, all the way around. Yeah. I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And when I was a kid growing up, I don't want to go to school today. Didn't matter what you wanted.
Yeah.
You got up and you got dressed and you got on that bus and you went to school.
Yes, absolutely.
Unless you were really sick. I mean, okay, let's not be. If you had pink eye, all right, you really should go to the doctor and get that checked out.
Well, yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah. But if you just, I feel like just watching TV today. Well, okay. My parents were like, no, they would not like that.
No.
You will go.
No, you will go to school.
So that's a shame. 36 days. I forget what the actual number is. They actually tell you at the beginning of the school year, or they used to, how many days absent. After that, it's an issue, and it's
right.
like,
well, it's nowhere near 32.
No, it's closer to like 14 or
that's
something
what I mean,
like that.
not 32.
Like, if you're up to 32, 36, 26 days of showing up tardy, and how tardy is tardy? Are you showing up at 9 in the morning, or are you showing up at 11?
Yeah.
What they don't say what tardy is, and makes you wonder. How far along is this boy in his education?
That's too bad.
Is he failing every subject?
But you can't blame the. You can't
And
blame him.
in this situation, you can't.
You can't blame him.
And
no.
there's no talk of a
parenting.
of a father in this situation,
well,
and he's probably not in the picture because he went to DCYF.
Yeah.
But it's sad all the way around.
It is, and the children suffer. Yeah.
And
That's
he
the
is
sad part.
Yeah. Unless he has complete control, and maybe he's like, oh, I don't want to go to school, and the mom's just saying, oh, okay.
He's not old enough to be, what's the word for it? I forgot. Because sometimes, like, if they're 15
emancipated?
Emancipated.
Oh, no,
minor.
way too young.
At 15 or 16, you see that happen, but not with the 11-year-old.
Did your kids ever
That's
say, I don't want to go to
sad.
school?
Yeah.
No, I don't recall that.
No?
Well,
Maybe they just thought it.
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't want to go to
My
school.
kids, one of them bunked one day.
You get caught?
Oh, yes, by mom and dad.
How'd you catch them?
Well, they called me.
Oh, the school called
the
you.
School called, and yeah.
So and so's not here.
So, yeah.
Okay.
How was school today? Oh, it
That
was
was good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
And did you say, hey, guess who I got a call
Never
from?
happened again.
What did they do? Did they go somewhere? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
because he was driving then, you know.
Oh, he was older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
So
Didn't have the car for a long time.
so just once, and that never happened again. Okay.
Never happened again. No.
So, and the rule, because I played sports in school, and soccer and baseball, and the rule was, you had to be in school in order to participate in either practice or the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't in school the day, you didn't play.
Yeah.
So the incentive to go was pretty high.
Yeah.
If you wanted to keep
Especially,
participating
that's
in
why sports is so, it's such a good discipline.
I hope
to-
this is still a rule.
Sports is a good thing.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
That you have to be in school on the day.
This was between sports, between seasons.
Between seasons. Well, some people have a
between seasons.
I took a break in the wintertime. I never bunked though.
No.
That's. I said, well, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And
Yeah, right.
we didn't.
And plus,
we
all
weren't
your friends
creative
are
enough.
there, right?
Yeah, they're all at school.
They're all their friends are there.
So I ran with
Yeah.
I ran with that crowd that didn't. We weren't the troublesome crowd. So, all right, you want to? We'll start with Ed. Thoughts on Mike Vrabel, new head coach of the New England Patriots?
Oh, I'm
Happy?
I'm okay with that.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I thought he would have been the head coach the last time.
Yeah.
But I think he was with the Titans at the time. But
Oh, he had a contract. He was a consulting
He was with
person.
Cleveland. He was with Cleveland last
Yeah.
year.
last year, yeah.
consulting
that's right.
coach or something, and
I said consultant.
personal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, you excited about what he can bring?
Well, we'll have to see what he can bring. But
Yeah.
at least he does have an NFL head coach experience.
That's the great
Regardless
part.
of what his record may have,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some things on, well, he wasn't that great when he was with the Titans and stuff.
Well, he did bring him
Yeah.
to the AFC Championship game once.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't
that's
he-
something.
Wasn't he coach of the year one year?
He was coach
He
of the
was
year.
coach of the year one year.
One year.
Yeah.
So that's good. Linda, thoughts on Mike?
Yeah,
Vrabel
no, I
coming?
thought that was good. I liked him when he played for the Patriots.
I liked him a lot
and-
when he played.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing. But once again, if he doesn't, I'm hoping he can weigh in on the people they should get.
know,
The draft picks
yeah,
and
that's
all
the
that.
thing,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
They
Because-
tried. I was listening.
Because
To
that
his,
did not go well.
I was listening to his press conference yesterday, and those questions were kind of brought up.
Yes, they were.
Are you going to be involved in this? And he kind of answered it, and basically said, "Well, I'm going to sit down with Elliot Wolf, who's the GM, and he gets the players, and I'm going to give him my 2 cents
Yeah.
of who he thinks where our priorities are needed,
Yeah.
and who we should go
Yeah.
after if they're available to get."
Right. Yeah.
So
Well, this
okay.
morning I heard on the TV news
yeah,
that another guy who's been working with Vrabel for the last 2 years has also been hired,
yes,
and he's going to be working directly with this guy Wolf.
yes. Is it? Did he was he with the Giants or the Jets?
I thought he said the Giants.
Okay, I think it's the Giants too, and because the Giants came out, because I think I read that too, where the Giants said we don't want to stand in the way of this guy, and I can't remember his name.
I
But we
can't
don't
either.
want to stand in the way of this guy's progression in his career. So we're releasing him from whatever his duties were, so he can go join the Patriots. I'm like, wow, from the Giants.
Really?
I'm like, well, that's awful nice of them. So that's
Yeah.
another good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
He likes Drake May.
Yes, yeah, he wants to help him. Yeah.
Get better and better. They talked about asking about an offensive coordinator and defensive
Yeah,
coordinator.
do you think it's going to be McDaniels again?
Yes,
I think so
I
too.
think so too.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels. Yeah.
He said it's too early. Well, we're weighing all our
Yeah.
options and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
It
Well,
sounds
that's
like
what you
it
got to
might
say.
be. Yeah. Did you hear what one of the commentators, and I forgot which one, and when they were talking about Drake May, and I can't remember who it was, they've got to teach him how to be a quarterback.
Well, they got to teach him how to slide
How to-
before he really hurts himself.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe Josh can do that if he's
Yeah.
the offensive
Yeah.
coordinator. I'm hoping, as I was listening yesterday, I said obviously I want wins, but I'm hoping for exciting football. Talk about dull
It was awful.
this past year.
Yeah.
I go, okay, I can see how they're lined up. You're going to run it up the middle.
Yeah.
Hand off to Stevenson, he gets 2 yards. I was like, I go, there's no
Unless he fumbles.
No,
unless he dropped the ball. That's right.
Yeah, well, that
I
too,
said, where is the creativity?
Yeah.
There's nothing going on
Yeah.
here.
The term I used was lackluster.
Lackluster's a great term. That's exactly the way it was. I'm like,
Boring.
it's dull and it's boring. And
Yeah.
and I look back to when Vrabel played.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's inserted in on the offense. He's catching touchdowns.
Yes. Yeah.
Because no one covered him.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, right.
I go, where's the creativity
Yeah.
from those days?
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe we get back to that.
Yeah,
So keep our fingers crossed. And
Yeah.
if we can get more than 4 wins, I guess it's going to be a success. And he even said, Vrabel said, our goal is to win the AFC East, becoming first in the AFC East, and then see how far we can go in the playoffs. So that's the first goal
Yeah.
for the team for next year.
Baby steps.
So, okay. We got to go with baby steps as well. All right, we're going to take our first break here in the Coffee and program, and more coming your way. And Ed, time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, give us a call at 765-8880. Integrity, Trust, and Service. The Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue. You can call in your comments and questions at 766-1240.
When it comes to emergency service for plumbing and heating, you can't beat C.J. Nemus, 37 Corey Street in Woonsocket. C.J. Nemus offers over 15 years of experience and is licensed in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts. C.J. Nemus offers complete heating system service, plumbing, water heaters, plus drain and sewer cleaning. Remember that senior citizens receive a 10% discount. So give Charlie a call today at C.J. Nemus, 769-4776. They're registered with the Better Business Bureau. They're a master plumber with quality service. It's the only way and the best way. With C.J. Nemus, call today, 769-4776 for C.J. Nemus.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores. It is Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. And let's see, the Providence Police are increasing their patrols on that Sky Bridge that connects Providence Place Mall and the Amica Mutual Pavilion. And we mentioned it yesterday, and about just how I only go to the Providence Place Mall if I absolutely have to. I just do not like going there. One, it's laid out all wrong. It's hard to get around, but the hordes of juveniles that hang out there, the troublemakers, is sky high. Yeah. And they had another robbery on the Sky Bridge the other day, and not that they stole a Gucci handbag. They stole someone's iPhone, and they stole a hoodie sweatshirt.
A hoodie must have been
because it's cold outside.
Yeah.
And they didn't get very far.
Or just have a name on it.
No, they just said they stole a hoodie. Oh yeah, maybe it had
You
like
know
a
what I
Patriots
mean?
or something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, and they didn't get very far. They
No.
got to Doran Street, which is not
Yeah.
very far from there,
No,
and they got arrested.
They got arrested.
But so these people get their stuff back, which is great. But the problem is you got robbed in the first place.
Well, exactly, and what will be the consequence for those kids?
Oh well.
Slap on the wrist.
Yeah, and maybe it's a fine. They're not gonna. They'll see no jail time out of this.
No.
Because I don't think they used a weapon of any kind other than
No. Well,
we're gonna beat you up, kind of thing.
That's a bit of a weapon. You know,
Well,
5-on-1 is a bit of
Yeah.
a weapon.
So-
you know?
It seems like some malls are more prone to that type of activity. There's
Well-
one in Massachusetts, South Shore
Yeah.
Plaza, South Shore Mall, whatever you want to call it.
You
Braintree.
think it wouldn't, but I guess it draws out of Boston.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. And you get gangs and you get knife
That roam
fights
around
and
there.
all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
In addition to the robberies.
Yeah. All right. So but if you want to use the that Sky Bridge, Providence Police are increasing their patrol, so things
Yes,
should be
I
okay
saw that,
at least
yeah.
for a little while. So they say they've had a couple of different incidents and they involve different groups of juveniles, so they can't even narrow it down. I had to laugh yesterday, Ed, because we had the story. The Kelly Ayotte, she is the governor of New Hampshire, had
Yeah.
her inaugural address a couple of days ago, and all she did was slam Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I said I don't think she's going to be invited to Maura Healey's house at any time, anytime soon.
Really? Why?
Well, she ran on a campaign of people are leaving Massachusetts
And going to
New
Yes,
Hampshire
and
because they want
are.
to get
Yeah,
away from
taxes.
the high taxes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the immigration situation in
Yeah, yeah,
Massachusetts
yeah.
is out of control.
Yes.
And we don't want to become another Massachusetts. So
Yeah.
that's what her whole story was, and how New Hampshire won't become what our neighbor is becoming. And I'm sure Maura was just writhing.
Yeah, because a lot of people are moving to to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taxes, yeah.
Uh-huh. Speaking of Maura Healey,
Yeah.
She's been slamming Donald Trump administration because he wants to deport people and this
Yes,
and that. And
yeah,
she says,
she
"Oh,
said,
we're not,
"Oh, no,
we're not
participate." Yeah.
we're not going to participate. We're not going to support you. We're not going to do anything." And so they said, "Well, if you're not going to help us, just stay out of the way."
Out of the way.
But her tune is changing a little bit now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting closer to Inauguration Day, what's her tune now?
Her tune now is that Massachusetts is shouldn't have to pay for all of these people that are coming in. We need to do something about that. The federal government has to help us out now.
Yeah.
And and we have to make some changes to our laws. Our laws weren't made so that Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state. She said.
Oh, it used to be.
It,
Yeah.
use
Like a year ago, I think she
Yeah.
actually said we were.
We
Yeah.
were, and the thing is too. I think the whole thing now too. She's doing all those criminal background checks on everyone in every shelter now.
Now,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
After the people, the guy with the gun and
Right, the gun and $1
You
million.
know, I think
the
she's seeing the
fentanyl.
consequences of
Right.
being
Yeah.
a sanctuary.
Well, I
she's
know-
changing her tune.
Yeah.
She doesn't want the migrants going to hotels anymore.
No.
That's one of her things she wants to change.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. I can't. Who's the new guy for security on the federal level?
I don't know.
I
His
can
name.
see him.
Yeah.
Big guy, white hair.
Yeah.
And but he's the guy that said, "Then get out of our way."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
right.
I think she realized, he means business.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not fooling around.
Well, you
Uh-oh.
don't want to support, but yet you want the help because you've brought all these people in. And
Yeah.
you said,
She didn't
"Come on
say a
down."
whole lot. Didn't say as much or as forcefully when Biden was still.
Yeah.
Well, he's still there now.
Yeah.
But,
Of course,
you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we voted for this, Ed, and they're still not happy in the Mass Senate. State Auditor Diana DiZoglio says the Senate is breaking the law in its response for her efforts to audit the legislature. We voted this in
Yeah.
back in October that we
Yeah.
want the Senate and we want the Congress to be audited.
Yeah.
And the Senate freaked out. And they
Yeah.
don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
So a subcommittee formed to work with DiZoglio on the audit has offered to meet with her in late January to begin the discussion about the matter. However, the subcommittee has also outlined concerns that includes the constitutional separation of powers possibly being violated by the audit. DiZoglio says the process has already begun to use the courts to compel legislative leaders to cooperate. So they're just going to keep fighting each other, Red.
Yep.
We want to audit. No, you can't. This is illegal. That's illegal. Let's get lawyers involved.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And let's get the
Billable hours.
billable hours going here, and everything will be great. All right. Down in Providence, finally, it's been since 2017. Remember the crane that fell into the
Yes,
the
in
water?
in the river.
It's been there 7
Well,
years now.
Yeah.
A little over 7 years
Yeah.
now.
It's been a while.
I can imagine what people from outside New England, if they have to drive by it, why
Yeah.
is that
Why is
there?
that there? Yeah.
They're finally going to get it out of the water.
Right.
The Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management says work to remove the sunken crane from the Providence River is going to get underway this week. It can't be any colder in the water for these people to go work, but okay. The project's being funded by a $1.5 million grant from the NOAA Marine Debris Program. Didn't know there was such a thing. RIDEM says along with being an eyesore since 2017, the sunken barge has presented a navigational hazard. Boats are having trouble getting around it.
For sure.
Raised ecological concerns and limited recreational and economic activities for nearby residents in an environmental justice community.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if have the sea creatures gotten used to it?
Well, that too. Well, they had to wait for the ospreys so that they weren't in the.
Nesting?
Well, because they were nesting,
Were
and
they? Oh, we
so
can't
they had
get
to
in. Wait
around that season for the eggs to hatch and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that season now. So
No,
that's
it's
why
not.
we're
So
taking
that's why
care
they
of that.
can take care of it. That's why it's cold. They can do it.
Yeah. So they did do preliminary diving. There's a fun job.
Yee.
Go jump in the Providence River.
Sure.
Yeah, you're wetsuited up,
Wetsuit,
and you're only probably in there for 5 minutes. Before,
Yeah, but still, huh?
I have talked to scuba divers that go diving in the Atlantic Ocean in the wintertime. I said, don't you get cold? And they said, well, yeah, that's why you're only down there for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you can only wear so much,
Yeah.
or else the suit doesn't fit.
Right.
And then it does keep you warm for a little while, but then
Yeah.
you can start to feel it after like 5, and
Yeah.
so all right, you got to get out.
Get out.
So
yeah.
same thing with these guys, I guess.
Yeah.
Preliminary diving and surveying work will be followed by removing the crane, and then they're going to tow it to a local recycling yard for processing. I guess they'll cut it up and chop it up and make it
Yeah.
into little bitty metal pieces, and then recycle it, do whatever they want with it. So all sorts of fun going on down there. And then I know we have the story. They've been surveying the Washington Bridge
Yes.
to make sure it's okay, because all the traffic going east and west is on one side of the bridge. How's the bridge handling the stress? And they tell us, and I guess we have to believe them, everything's fine.
Yeah. It's safe.
They have
They
deemed it
both
safe.
said it. The bridge is safe.
Yes. So okay. Sensors were installed to help evaluate the condition of the bridge in real time, and they've been looking at them and said it's holding up just fine, and there's nothing to worry about. Okay. I mean, what else are they going to say? No, it's a complete disaster.
I think they did a visual. They
Yeah.
said they had maybe some screws and bolts and thing were a little loose, so they
Loose.
got to tighten them up.
Someone's got a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Got to
A big
tighten
one.
it up.
Not that one, the Phillips.
Yeah, that's right.
A big one.
Oh boy. So everything's okay. It's okay. So we just keep working and it's not going to be until June, right? June. We've narrowed it down to 2. They're going to rebuild it. We're going over their proposals now. Not me. They didn't ask me to do this. What do I know? And then they're going to pick someone in June, a company, 1 out of 2, and then they'll start whenever they feel like
5 years.
starting
5 years.
to rebuild it. Well, they got to take down the thing first.
Well, that's
and
not even
then-
down yet. Yeah.
Right,
At
and then
least
rebuild
5
something.
years.
All right. We had a story about traffic and like that, and how Providence was one of the worst because of the Washington Bridge. The other city is Baltimore, because they had their bridge situation.
Yes.
That's almost coming up on a year.
Yeah.
But look how fast they're
I was
still.
going to say
they're
that
still
happened
rebuilding.
quickly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then it's not taking them 5 years.
No,
to rebuild that?
No. I mean, that's
Yeah, they didn't have to knock it down. It fell down on its own,
But still, it's a big job.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
looks like they're doing it
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
As opposed to
And they got on that
Us.
right away.
yeah,
They were right on it.
we like to take our time. We're Rhode Island. All right, so let's see. We had an alleged assault in Johnston. That's under investigation. 28-year-old man said to police he was jogging on a nearby bike path about 9 in the morning when someone came out and picked him up and body slammed him to the ground.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I saw that.
wow. The suspect is described as just a white man wearing a dark-colored jacket. Sometimes, without film, without someone, and usually everyone's got a camera now,
Yeah.
without you seeing it, is that what really happened? So, you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, in this day and age, we question everything.
Yeah.
Did he really get body slammed, or,
Yeah.
or is something else going on? Maybe he did. You don't know.
Oh, you know those bike paths, you know? Like,
Yeah.
You know, when I
You think you're safe at 9 in the morning. It's bright sunny out.
yeah, and you know, like especially when you know how I'm a firm believer in exercise and walking and all of
Yeah.
the above, but I always caution everybody, you know, do not walk on the bike path alone.
Alone.
Go in a group, you know, because you never know what's going to happen. And it's too bad because bike paths are wonderful.
I had this discussion one time with my sister, because the story was, and it was up in Boston, and a woman got assaulted. She was running along she was near the Hat Shell.
Yeah.
What
okay.
do they call that? But there's a bike path right there.
Yeah.
That's right along the river.
The Esplanade.
She was on the Esplanade. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where she's jogging. Okay. She got assaulted on the Esplanade. She was running at 3 in the morning.
Why are you running at 3 in the morning?
Well, that's the question. And I said, and that's what everyone was saying. Well, and they asked her that. Well, why you? Well, between school and work and studying, and she had a few other excuses. This was her only time. And they said, Planet, to use one I could just think of, Planet Fitness is open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Go jog on the treadmill.
Yeah.
If your only time to go is 3 in the morning. And I was talking to my sister about it. I said, we don't live in a perfect world.
No, we don't.
So going jogging at 3 in the morning, and yes, you should not be assaulted if you plan to go jogging at 3 in the morning.
No, you shouldn't.
But we don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And stuff like this is going to happen if you decide to go jogging at 3 in the morning by yourself.
I
Yeah, it's the by yourself part of it.
Yeah.
It's the
But then again,
you
how
know,
many people are you going to get to go with you at 3 o'clock
3 in the
Well,
morning.
no one. That's
Yeah.
right. So
You know, like we've got the bike path goes all the way up to Worcester, not far from my house, and I would never go on that alone. You know, it's just because we don't have a perfect world.
we're not in a perfect world.
You know, it's not safe.
That's right.
It's not safe.
You figure if you go at 9 in the morning, like the one down in Johnston, there'll be other people.
Other people running
And so
and being around.
you
as
can
well.
run by yourself.
Sure.
There's
Yeah.
just a lot more people just
Yeah.
using the bike path, and you should be okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of question this one without having all the specifics
Yeah.
of what has happened.
Yeah.
Is this what really happened? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to take another break here in the Coffee and Program. More coming your way. We're going to take a look at the weather forecast right now, which is being brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Sunny skies today with a high near 32 degrees and a stiff breeze out of the west up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 17, still with that west wind up to 25 miles per hour. Wednesday's weather, sunshine in 29. Thursday, sunshine in 30. Friday, sunshine in 38 degrees. Saturday, we have a chance of some showers. Afternoon time, mostly cloudy and 45. Saturday night, a chance of some snow. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 39. And on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, a chance of some snow, mostly cloudy with a high of 30 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have sunny skies. Temperature has risen to 27 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Whether you own a restaurant or an auto repair shop, you need as many customers as you can get. Every business does. Don't limit yourself to one newspaper. Get the power of 2 daily newspapers for the price of 1. The Blackstone Valley's Call and Times deliver customers from all over the valley with just one phone call. Phone 767-8500 for twice the effectiveness over twice the area. The Call and the Times.
If household finances are tight and you're having trouble paying the heating bills, the Good Neighbor Energy Fund may be able to provide assistance. Please contact a local CAP agency. Call United Way 211 or visit Rhode-IslandGoodNeighbor.org. Ad sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
When you're thinking about a place to go out to eat with your family or the whole gang, or maybe something quieter for just the two of you, head over to ON Radio's website, woonsocketradio.com, and click on the restaurant guide. This gives you a listing of the best restaurants in
in the area. You could take a look at menus and possibly even make reservations. This is a great resource to see a bunch of restaurants all in one place. Remember, it's woonsocketradio.com and click on Restaurant Guide. And if you own a restaurant that's not already listed, call WOON Radio at 401-762-1240 for information on how your restaurant can be on the Restaurant Guide. Call Joe at 401-762-1240.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. We thank you for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. And, you're going to get caught. You can't send drugs through the mail.
No.
Through the U.S. mail. It's just, no. And it may work the first time. It may work the second time. But eventually, it's going to catch up to you. This took place in Fall River, by the way, Massachusetts. U.S. Attorney's Office said that Justin Duprez allegedly mailed 2 kilograms of cocaine, and that's not a hefty weight. It's very small, but you still can't do it. 2 kilograms of cocaine he sent from Los Angeles to Fall River. Authorities say another person signed for the package and gave it to Duprez in Fall River a couple of days later. According to prosecutors, he had done the same thing several times in the past, including last September and October. So, if the UPS, United States Postal Service, suspects something, they're going to let the authorities in on it, and then now they're watching you to see what's going on. I don't know how the United States Postal Service gets wind of it, but someone must tip them off,
or those dog
or dogs,
sniffing,
could check it out. So you just you can't do that. So
no.
That's multiple federal offenses, right? I think so. There was a fire in North Attleboro just a couple of days ago, midnight yesterday, on John C. Porter Way, which I'm not quite sure where that is in North Attleboro. An attached 2-car garage with 2 electric vehicles. Inside was engulfed in flames, which was spreading to the house.
Yep.
No injuries, that's good, but the residents were displaced. They're being helped by the Red Cross.
Yep.
No word, because it's under investigation, no word yet on what started the fire. Was it the electric vehicle?
Perhaps, and they were
not.
not happy. It was tough for the firefighters because they had solar panels on the roof too, so it was hard for them to fight the fire.
Is
it
that
made
because
it more difficult.
you can't bust through the roof?
You can't go through the roof, yeah. And,
I didn't think about that when you put the solar panels on your house.
solar panels. I used to be on the board of the fire department in North Smithfield.
Yeah.
And I was always concerned about solar panels for the safety of the firefighters.
Okay.
It can be a challenge for them.
So they're not allowed to bust the solar panels to get to the roof. Is that?
Well, I don't know if you can. I don't know. I don't know. But
take an axe to
that
it.
was one of the things that it made. It made fighting that fire more of a challenge than if they were not there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no word yet on what may have started this fire. Is it the vehicles or something else? Have you seen those new Teslas out on the road? You'd know it if you saw it.
Yeah.
The big vehicles. They look.
The
like
Cybertruck?
Yeah, that
I did. I
thing.
saw one last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird looking.
Oh yeah, it is.
And it's
Definitely.
just. It reminded me a little bit of when Hummers were the big thing for a little while, but this thing seems to be longer, shinier.
Yeah.
And but very nondescript too. It's one color, it's like dull silver.
Yeah.
Oh, like a kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah.
But also
Stainless.
very aerodynamic.
Yeah.
And
Looks
so-
like it's like the
Really?
belongs on a Mars rover or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a weird looking thing.
It almost looks bulletproof too, but I don't think it is.
Well,
but,
I don't know if it is or not. I know Elon Musk said it was.
did he?
At one point, he said the glass is bulletproof or something,
Interesting, all right.
and they had a thing on. He was making the demonstration on TV that is bulletproof.
So he
and
had a
somebody
gun?
threw a rock or something. This was a demonstration. And it shattered the glass. He said, "Oops."
Yeah, it's a big oops.
Back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah, they said one of those vehicles was electric and the other was hybrid. It was
Yes.
a hybrid, and they both
Oh, okay.
went on fire. Yeah.
Any idea what those Teslas cost? Those
The Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Close to $100,000.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I've seen a couple driving like up and down
Really?
146.
Really?
Yeah. In this area, I'm like, well, okay, there it is. I'm like, okay. I don't want one.
No.
So interesting. Now, all right. Speaking of the fires, do you people know anybody out in L.A. that has been, and have they been evacuated or anything?
Yeah, not personally, no.
No. Ed, do you know anyone out there?
No.
Okay. I know someone that's out there.
Really?
And I was sent a map of where the fires are and where he and his wife are.
Yeah.
And they're outside the fire area.
Yeah.
But you never know; the winds may change.
The wind, well, they're
and
whipping
blow
again, yeah.
the fire in his general direction.
and leave.
They've already been told if you have to evacuate, he has an evacuation building to go to, which is right down the road. There's a stone structure that he is to go to. They are to go to if they get the word that they have to go. So
Not really
yeah,
close by, or?
yeah. He says it's on the same street that they're on, so he can
Wow.
get to it actually very quickly.
Wow.
So
Because those fires seem to be doing a number on brick and stone
well, that's where he was told to go.
buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just go.
Maybe it's time to go to Nevada.
Far, far away. Yeah.
And we brought it up yesterday in the Coffee In program and talk about they were finally able to get through. 60 fire trucks from Oregon were driving down to come help, and they were stopped at the border of California because they didn't have some emission sticker, a California emission sticker on their truck. Well, no kidding.
Well, what kind of an
Look
emissions
where,
you
look
think
where
you're
we're coming
getting?
from.
Yeah, but
well,
not.
the law is
But-
all trucks, including fire trucks, must have this emission sticker.
But think about it, the emissions that they're getting in toxic air from these fires.
It's funny, the people that are at the
That's-
border, we don't care. It was so black and white to them. The law says we can't let you in unless you have this emission sticker on your truck.
That's dumb.
And so they were getting ready to turn around, but they radio back. This is the issue we have at the border.
Yeah.
So let's get some higher ups in the fire department to call
Yeah.
down to L.A.
And say,
or Sacramento, call City Hall, or call the governor, and this is what is going on, and to tell them to let us in. They did finally let them in,
well, of course.
and
my
they were able to
God.
come down and help out and fight the fire.
My God.
But it's just amazing how common sense just does not rule.
You don't teach it in school anymore.
No, that should be a class. Common sense.
No, I mean, that is because, I mean, you got people from Canada, fire from Canada, Mexico.
Yeah. And we brought it up. We've thought about what if San Francisco was on fire and not L.A., which is much
hasn't.
closer to the Oregon border.
Yeah.
All right, come on in. This won't be
Yeah.
an issue right now, but
Yeah.
and it's a long drive. It's
Yeah,
3
yeah.
hours, isn't it, from San Francisco to L.A. if you're going to drive it?
I would think. I
Probably
don't-
longer in a fire
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
And so it's just,
Think of the screwiest laws in California.
Well, yeah, they do.
it is. You're right.
Yes, they do.
They do.
And I know Trump has called for Newsom to resign. I don't
Yeah.
think he will. Do you think he
No,
will, Ed?
Of course he's not.
I don't think you will.
I don't think he will
He's
either.
not going to resign. But that mayor and that budget, that you don't cut the budget on a fire department.
Right. Yeah. They,
You do not cut the
they
budget
do
on a
so
fire.
many stupid things.
I mean,
Yeah.
how stupid.
Let's not fill the reservoir, and that'll
Yeah,
save us
yeah,
I don't know how many
yeah,
millions of
yeah.
dollars. I'm like, wow.
I mean, and she was trying to explain that. No,
You
there's
can't
no
explain yourself
excuse
away.
for cutting the budget on a fire department.
Yeah. Manhole covers are being launched into the air in Worcester.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, be on the lookout if you happen to be walking around.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No injuries reported, but manhole covers were launched into the air in Worcester. The explosion that launched multiple manhole covers into the air on Saturday happened at the intersection of Grafton and Franklin Streets. I don't know where that is in Worcester. There were vehicles and pedestrians in the area, and nobody was hit by the flying manhole covers, which is good. These things are made out of steel,
Well, yeah.
and it's going to hurt.
Things are heavy.
Yes. The fire...
What caused the explosion?
They don't say yet. The fire department was on scene investigating reports of smoke coming from a manhole when the blast happened. Build up of pressure,
Yeah.
maybe that blew them up into the
Wow.
air. So you just never know. Things that just gonna.
Wow.
If you see smoke coming out of a manhole,
Stay clear.
back away. 'Cause you
Back
just,
away.
You say, "Oh, don't worry about it." No, you
Yeah.
might want to be concerned.
Yeah, why not?
That's gonna happen. It's happened in Boston. I don't think I've ever heard about it happening here in Rhode Island. But just Boston and up in Worcester too. So glad there were no issues, no problems, and no injuries. So that's good. All right, one more break here on the Coffee and program. More coming up. Stick around.
This has turned out to be one of the best ski seasons ever. We have got so much snow. Come on out.
If you haven't been this season, now's the time. The conditions are incredible. Come see for yourself.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Buy your tickets online at Wachusett.com.
Big banks offer you everything these days. Bank from home, bank from your phone, even apply for a loan from anywhere you are. It's called Big Bank Tech, and it's pretty cool. Did you know you don't have to go to a big bank to be pretty cool? Navigant Credit Union offers their members all the big bank tech without the big bank. And if you want to come into a branch to see us, we'll make you feel like you own the place, because you do. We think that's pretty cool, too. Navigant Credit Union, member NCUA.
America's heroes need your help. Join us at the Rhode Island Veterans Home Career Fair, January 16th and 17th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 480 Metacom Ave in Bristol. We're hiring licensed practical nurses, certified nursing assistants, and cooks. Earn competitive pay with rewarding state benefits and work in a state-of-the-art resort-like facility built for Rhode Island's veterans. Come meet hiring managers and get an on-the-spot conditional job offer. Learn more at vets.ri.gov. That's vets.ri.gov.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan right here, along with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. Well, on top of the looting that is going on, at least 30 people have been arrested for looting. Now, the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, she's urging residents to report any illegal price gouging that may be going on out there in the wake of the deadly wildfires. California law prohibits excessive and unjustified price increases for essential goods and services during a state of emergency. It also applies to the prices of construction services, hotel lodging, and residential rental properties. Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency for L.A. last Tuesday because that's when the fires started. So, a case of waters now, or a liter of water is $11, which I paid for in Washington when there were no fires. But if a case of water is like $50, there's some price gouging right there. So they want to report. I haven't heard of any that's going on, but all right, something else to worry about out there in L.A. Now this is the guy we talked about, Mike Vrabel, and with the Patriots, and who do we get to help out with the Patriots be better? Well, let's hope they don't go after this person out of college. A former football star from Louisiana State University, LSU Tigers, who is charged with negligent homicide, has posted bail and is out of jail in Louisiana. Kyron Lacy, L-A-C-Y, remember that name in case we draft him, okay? Is linked to a deadly crash in his hometown of Thibodaux, Louisiana, that ended with the death of a retired Marine. Louisiana state troopers say that Lacy was weaving through traffic on the highway, forcing other drivers to swerve out of his way. 2 days after the crash, Lacy declared for the NFL draft. I want a contract and I want a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't say what position he plays here. I'm sure you can figure it out if you go look him up. But he's not going to play for Louisiana State anymore, and now I don't know if he'll play in the NFL anymore. So they might not take a chance on him.
Yeah.
With this hanging over his head, so I don't know. So,
Wow.
football players are a strange bunch. I remember this is maybe you remember this, Ed. This was a few years ago. I don't think like 20 years ago, maybe longer. There were a couple of New England Patriots football players. They were in the parking lot of the Stop and Shop that's on Route 1 in North Attleboro. Can you picture where that is?
Yeah.
Okay. They were having it wasn't a knife fight, but they were throwing knives at each other.
I think
they were trying to. I don't know if they were trying to catch them or what. I go, why are they doing this?
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that story. Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they finally were caught or whatever.
Yeah.
That these really big guys are throwing knives at each other in our parking lot.
Yeah.
And they get on Route 1 and started heading towards Foxborough. They eventually got caught. And I'm thinking, boy, football players. Some of them are just think so differently than the rest of us. And think, hey, this will be fun. Let's do this.
Oh yeah.
And all right. Let's see. We mentioned that we got the first. We got a wolf moon coming up.
Yes.
It's the
yeah.
first full moon of 2025. It'll be at its peak on this coming Monday. The wolf moon will reach full lunar glow at 5:27 p.m. according to NASA. For 3 days, the moon will be full, beginning Sunday evening through Wednesday morning. January's wolf moon name originates from the Maine Farmer's Almanac, which published Native American names for each moon, each full moon. According to NASA, it came from packs of wolves heard howling outside the villages amid the cold and deep snows of winter up there in Maine. That makes perfect sense. They're howling at the full moon. Let's call it a wolf moon.
There you go.
Moon was big this morning.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes.
As
I
I
didn't
was
see it
driving
this
up
morning.
495,
Yes,
I said,
yeah.
holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give off a lot of light.
Well, it was daytime, so.
Oh, well,
but
okay.
It was bright enough,
Yeah.
that for sure,
Yeah.
but it was huge.
You know, we had that big story a few weeks ago, and it kind of died away. Remember, everyone was complaining about all these drones on the
Yeah.
East Coast?
Yeah.
You don't hear anything about it anymore.
No, it was New
That went
Jersey,
away.
wasn't it?
Yeah, that went
New
away.
Jersey. Yeah.
And nothing was ever said where they were from.
Yeah.
So anyway, I bring it up because not in New Jersey and not on the East Coast, but Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport, a runaway drone is being blamed for massive delays at that airport. I've never heard of a runaway drone.
I was going to say, how
Someone has
does
to be
one run
controlling
away?
it.
Somebody's controlling.
You would think someone's controlling it.
Yeah.
A spokesman says that a contractor was flying the unmanned aircraft over a nearby construction site. It lost communication, and there were concerns about it entering the airspace. It's since been located. Over the weekend, it was reported that a drone collided with a firefighting aircraft near L.A. I did hear about that.
Yeah.
And newly released photos show a 6-inch hole in the wing.
Whoa.
Knocked the firefighting plane out. Didn't crash, but
No. Wow.
I've been hit, and now I got to go land, and we got to take care of this. But geez, fun stuff down.
Well, you know, they're using drones for so many things.
Everything, yeah.
You know, for everything, even
Yeah.
like, you know, insurance companies. and
Yep.
They want to take a look at your roof,
Yeah.
you know, and this and that. And they used to put a ladder up there. Now they fly as a drone, you know. How do they get out of control, I wonder?
I don't know, because you're controlling it,
I was thinking that
and if your batteries die, let's say, on what you're controlling, wouldn't it just fall out of
well,
the
that's
sky?
what I wondered. That's, I mean, out of control. I thought it would just drop to the,
So I don't know.
yeah.
Unless it's a more advanced
Oh.
kind of drone.
Ah,
You know, they keep saying it's unmanned, so maybe it's not a toy. It's a much bigger
yeah.
thing. So I don't know.
Well, it must be bigger than the toys, because if it made a hole like that in the,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So you'll be happy to hear about this, Linda, being the registered nurse.
Yeah.
State of Washington is the healthiest state in America.
Really?
Yeah. New report by health experts at Universal Drugstore, which ranked Washington in first place for states with the fewest unhealthy habits.
Oh, okay. And healthy
So
habits.
they've looked at these several factors. They have the fewest cigarette smokers, the fewest binge drinking, and they get the best sleep. I think it's because it's all the rain they get in
Well,
Washington.
you know, I was going to say it rains there a
Nothing
lot,
to
then,
do.
you know, and not too much sunshine. It's
Yeah.
beautiful out there, though. My uncle used to was in Washington,
Yeah.
Vancouver, and it was so
It's,
beautiful.
well, that's why it's called
It's
the Green
so
State.
well, it
Yeah.
is. It really is, but it's always raining.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of sunshine there.
Utah comes in second, by the way,
Utah.
as a second
Well,
for least,
that's
least amount of unhealthy habits.
okay.
There was something on TV this
Yeah.
morning, listening to the news. Tufts Medical Center last year set a new record again, because they've done it several times apparently. They did 70 adult heart transplants last year.
Wow, I didn't think the need would be that high.
Yeah. Apparently they've set this
7-0.
record 7-0. Yes.
Wow.
I know Jane used to tell me they did a lot of them.
Wow.
I didn't think it'd be that
huh?
much, but
Yeah, because she was involved with a lot of
Yeah.
them. Yeah, so
and so they've had this record for a couple of years now.
they've had this record several times. They keep
Okay.
breaking the record. Yeah.
Well, that must be the place to
The
go.
record for, I think it's the record for New England. I'm not sure if
Okay.
it's for the country, but yeah.
Wow.
The word must be out then, if in New England anyway. If you
Well,
need a heart
the
transplant,
word has
that's where
always
you go.
pretty much been if you really need
Something
a
big.
very big
Yeah.
surgery,
Yeah.
Tufts is the
Yeah,
place to go.
yeah.
I mean,
Where do
people
you-
come from all over the world to go to
Well, yeah.
Tufts.
Yeah. Wow.
Where do they get the
Donors.
the donors? Yeah, the transplanted
Yeah.
hearts from.
I don't know.
I think more and more people are doing that. You know, put it on your license,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
So people that just have
yeah.
died
Yeah.
or car
Well, yeah.
accidents.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think a lot more people are. You know, there is so much awareness now about being a donor. Yeah.
Maybe Jane can answer this question if you don't know it, Ed. If you're the recipient,
Yeah.
do you know the donors who the donor is that's giving you their heart?
I don't know that.
I wonder if
don't
you
know
get a
the
little
answer to that.
background info.
I
You're
think,
getting a heart of a 43-year-old man. He lived
I
in
think
Louisiana
they must
or whatever.
because you know you always see those families getting together to thank the
But both sides
recipient's family.
have to agree to
Well,
that.
I would think
yeah.
so.
I would think so,
Privacy,
because of
course,
HIPAA privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see that a lot of the recipient's family wanting to meet with the donor's family
Yes.
and thank them.
It's usually
and,
very emotional.
And you know, you hear the family saying, "Well, you know, I know he's alive. His
Yeah.
heart is alive, or she's."
you know, put your hand, if you're
Yeah,
the recipient, put
yeah.
your hand on my chest.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can feel
Yeah, yeah.
your husband's heart.
Yeah,
It is still
yeah.
beating.
Yeah, so I think you know, I think they can if everybody agrees.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, 70 though. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot.
impressive.
That is. It's yeah, it's more than one a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Down in Bear County, Texas, a deputy's out of a job. You know what he did?
What do you do?
Maybe there's an inmate in the jail.
Yeah.
Doesn't say if he's a friend of his or
Yeah.
not. But he decided, you know what, I'm going to be a nice guy. And he went to a fast food place called Whataburger,
Oh yeah.
like a McDonald's. And he went and brought him a meal.
Oh.
Yeah. That's against the rules. Yeah.
Oh.
He's out of a job because he took a Whataburger meal to an inmate at the jail.
Well, that's-
Miguel Rodriguez, he's the deputy, accepted a Cash App payment from an inmate's relative to buy burgers for the inmate and himself. Jail administrators found out about the delivery on Friday and asked Rodriguez about it. He reportedly admitted everything and was arrested for bringing contraband into a correctional facility. It's outside food.
Because you don't know what's in it.
That's
yeah.
right. And you don't know what you're handing him. All right. He was fired after his arrest, bonded out of jail later in the day. The incident remains under investigation.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd know that. You can't
If
bring
he's a
outside food. He's a
The
deputy.
chief, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
TikTok, what's going to happen to it, Ed?
I don't know.
It is. That's what everyone's saying. We just don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know. The latest rumor I heard this morning, which doesn't really make any sense to me, is that Elon Musk is going to buy it.
But I've heard that
from
for a while.
ByteDance.
But I'd also heard. I haven't seen it gain any traction. I've heard about it, and I've heard of other companies.
Yeah, there are other
two
groups.
two guys on that Shark Tank show.
Yeah.
Those two guys.
Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And someone else want to buy it.
Steve Mnuchin, who used to be the U.S. Treasury Secretary
Yeah.
under Trump's first term.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been interested, but he's got a group. I mean, it's not just him alone. Yeah, there are groups out there, but they have to get it's not just you have to be buying all of the algorithms, and apparently they can't negotiate with
That part? Okay.
They can't negotiate with either ByteDance or with the Chinese government to relinquish the algorithms that make this thing work.
All right. Now, how about this? While TikTok's future is in the hands of the Supreme Court, a Chinese app called Red Note
Okay.
is topping the charts. On Monday, Red Note was the top free-to-download app on the Apple App Store.
Yeah.
The Shanghai-based Chinese-language social media app has been called, quote, China's TikTok by users who could share videos, post pictures, make text posts, and also shop. So there's always something new coming along.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if TikTok gets shut down, there's going to be something else.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there is. Yeah.
And now here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
If this one said this is Chinese also.
Yes.
It's going to run into the same problems.
That's right.
You know, there's still going to be suspicion of Chinese being able to use the information to spy on American people.
Yeah. So keep a note. Write down red note. And yeah, Bike Dance has got until January 19th, which is Sunday.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be or they say they'll be banned in the United States. And it's really got my daughter concerned.
Really?
Well, she's in that age group of 18 to 25-year-olds that really use this.
Yeah.
And she's very concerned that it's going to go away. I'm not on it. I don't use it, so this doesn't affect me at
Doesn't
all.
bother me,
So,
yeah.
so all right. Carrie Underwood's going to perform the inauguration if you like that, and the Village People. So
The Village People?
yeah, you know,
The Village People.
well, you know, the Trump's been using different songs,
Yeah.
and of course, then artists come out and say,
Yeah.
"Stop using my song. I didn't give you permission, so you got to stop using it." But the Village People. They've been using a lot of their music at his rallies over the past year.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
So the YMCA, is that what they're using?
YMCA.
Okay.
That's theirs.
So in a statement, the band said, quote, "We know this won't make some of you happy to hear. However, we believe that music is to be performed without regard to politics." So very, very few bands think that way.
Yeah.
A lot of them,
I know Carrie Underwood's getting a lot of crap because of that too.
push back on it because
Yeah,
she's going to
yeah.
perform.
Yeah.
You know, if she wants to, she wants to.
Yeah, she
Just-
says she says it's music, and she says I perform for all the American people, regardless of party.
Of what their party
Yeah.
is.
And she has never come out and said that she was
she-
either for or against
Right.
either candidate.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking like artists like, Bruce Springsteen was just, you absolutely cannot use my music because
Yeah.
he's so left wing. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in. As always, we hope you have a great day today. Ed Crew, thanks for coming in today.
Always a pleasure.
All right, Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right, my name's Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day and stay tuned for Gary Smith and the Crew. Do you remember at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Russ Olivo writes on the front page of today's Blackstone Valley Call-in Times from Woonsocket. The parent of a Good Shepherd Elementary boy is facing criminal charges after the child repeatedly failed to show up for class. But that wasn't all.